Hola, ciao, witam, доброго вечора. Hello, we're broadcasting from Kiev, the capital of independence, Ukraine. And my name is Alexander Voloshin. I am the head of incubation in Dimium, Ukraine, and sorry for this small delay. I will host this super event, and I will try to make this event super cozy for you, YouTubers, our participants, also startups, and our guests. But first of all, I want to share our agenda, and you totally understand for what we will spend time today. So our event will have two main parts. It's our main topic with our guest, and second part is about pitching. We have three startups from Ukraine and from Poland, and guys will pitch their startups and get feedback. And yeah, that's all. And I want to start to introduce our super guest for today. It's Julio Ribes, and I hope my Spanish pronunciation not so bad. Yeah, and Julio was joined to Dimium Barcelona in 2017 with his co-founders and building company from scratch and can make company which cost 30 million euros and can sell it to another big players in the market. And another way, I want to ask you to make a question to Julio about his knowledges, about presentation, etc. And I will ask these questions to Julio when he finished his presentation. Please put your questions on YouTube and LinkedIn. So the introduction part is officially closed by me. I want to start another part of presentation. Julio, the stage is yours. I stop my presentation and let's rolling.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alexander. Yeah, the first part, I would like to thankful all the team, especially all the Demium family, but to do a special mention to yourself and to all the people in Ukraine, because what you are facing now is not that easy, and you are showing a super braveness. So even being live and active with this event makes you a great name and a really powerful people for sure. So about the SWIPCAR story about myself, I really appreciate the title, but I have to be honest with you. I mean, the title is a little bit tricky, let's say. I mean, I don't have any power or any truth, let's say, to repeat it again, let's say. So when I'm saying that is I don't have, this is not any recipe that it's a magic that you can apply really fast and do it, because I already show people in LinkedIn also saying, let me how to do it and I will do it, like it is like a super fast thing. It's not. I mean, to be honest, I think being successful in a startup is not just a thing about numbers, it's not just a thing about market. There's for sure a little percentage that it's just a luck. So I mean, and it has to come to you. So sometimes from being from closing a company or being success, there's not like a huge line sometimes, I think. So just be aware of that. I mean, after that, yeah, let me share a little presentation that I just built today really fast. 1 second. I think you can see it. If you just can, well, if you can confirm it with a yes, because I'm not seeing you anymore, Alex.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Then let me just put it. Okay, I will maintain this anyway. If you cannot see it well, I can do it bigger anyway. I mean, I just changed the title of the presentation. I said how to build an acquirable company, let's say. Let's put first, like, we need to do a company acquirable to be acquirable and not to give a value and sell it for a value. That's the first thing. So my agenda, my personal agenda is to go through what is or was a SWIPCAR, first point. Second one is a roadmap to build a company acquirable. And the third, that is more important for me, is the Q&As. And I just want to say, all of you, like, just ask whatever you want. I mean, I really like to take this opportunity always to help other entrepreneurs, other people that is facing now problems during the entrepreneur life. That's the most important for me. I can give you my experience. What it's not, it doesn't have to be the good one, but for sure we can share that moments, because I mean, that's where the magic stays in the life of a startup. Like sharing with others and have other learnings makes you go faster in your own startup. So the third point is the most important. So feel free. Just a little thing. I mean, I'm gonna try to explain from the very beginning until the company was acquirable. After that, I cannot share many things because obviously I'm working now for a big company, which is amazing company, and we also have our private information that I cannot share anymore, which is normal, even because we are in the New York Stock Exchange right now as a company, right? So let me go
Julio,
first.
Julio, by
Sorry.
the way, could you please share on full screen your
Yeah,
presentation?
yeah, yeah. Let me go. Yeah,
Super.
yeah. A SWIPCAR is an online car lease platform that in a moment in 2017 what we saw is the mobility was changing. So if the mobility was changing, what we thought at the very beginning with my co-founders that we met in Demium, Pablo and Blas, is we need to offer something different to the market. So what we took was the leasing option, long-term leasing option. So individuals and companies can lease easily a car for mileages and from 1 to 5 years and pay a monthly quote. And we as a company, we were getting a commission on every operation, let's say. So our offer, our website was offering a wide range of vehicles from various providers at the same time. Every bank owned the cars and was offering the cars in our webpage. As I said, the most important at that point is we were facing a change of in the automotive industry. Like people doesn't want to be client or doesn't want to own anymore the car. They just want to enjoy it. So we said users from everything, owners of nothing, as our motto in our objective, because we were seeing like people is starting and will do it more and more every time, not to buy a car, so to have a subscription or a leasing. So subscription is going to be bigger anyway. Buying a car is going to be a huge percentage of the market. So both are going to live together, but the renting and the subscription were gaining percentage in the market. So how it worked, it was so easy. I mean, the experience on the web page was easy. The client picked the car, new or used, select a mileage and kilometers, then go through a risk analysis. If they were approved, we send the contract digitally, and it was signed in a minute. So actually, the experience was you can have a car in 5 minutes, and the car will be delivered in the next 2 3 weeks in your house or in a nearby dealership. So, I mean, we were doing all the commercial stuff, all the digital experience for all the owners of the cars. In this case, was banks who owned the car and put it is as a leasing or as a renting, which is a different concept, right? Our customer really easy and really fast was a 60% employee, 20% freelance, and 20% company, around 40 years old, and the people were getting a card for 3.2 years and paying a monthly quote around 300 euros. Our idea at that point was to have a bigger lifetime value with the renovations that started a year ago, more or less. And we were thinking at that point, and that's true, it's a fact, that most of the people will renew really easy the leasing, right? So in marketing, we last year 2021 we were in the television in Spain, but our strategy was basically starting from paid marketing and increase simultaneously our SEO position. We were facing a huge conversion rate, and we were partnering with the main other players of the country like N26, which is a bank, or Restaurator, which is an insurance player. Last year, around before the acquisition, we were 92 people. You can see it here. We had to make some adaptations in the picture, but anyway, we were around 100 people, and that feeling of giving employee for all that people was one of the best that we faced during our times, right? Yeah, this is the first part. So I didn't want to go really deep in the SWIPCAR, because I don't think it's the point of the meeting of today. The second part, I think, is the most important to you, and I just put 10 points, and I would like to be like the rest of the time talking about that point, because I have to summarize in some points. I mean, when I wrote the most important points, I found it was around 15, but I tried to select or to pick just 10, and this is what you can see here, okay? So if I have to say, this is the 10 points that you have to concentrate to build an acquirable company. And I tried to put in date order in timing. So the first thing is know your co-founders. I mean, and I'm gonna share in every point experiences that I had, okay? So when I say you should know your co-founders, is you are, I mean, probably all of you already know, but you are going to share hours and hours and days and weekends, and you really need to know your co-founders. And that's like, be sure that you want to marry them, because you don't need to be the same. You don't need to be to share hobbies, but you need to understand that you can be a couple, or menage a trois. you you need to understand that you can work all together. So for that, you need to do activities as well, and activities could be go out for dinner, go out for party, go out for activities, do weekends together, understand the families. I mean, because a mistake on that piece is giving you much troubles in the future. So you really need to understand your co-founders and meet them really well. I mean, in my case, we spent many times, thank you to Demium, the very beginning with Blas especially, and also with Pablo, we were having some dinners and partying also. I think that's really important, because I mean, knowing the people as a really close friends, it's gonna allow you to understand the necessities, the needs that they have in the future, if they will need more money in the future, if they will be more power, if they will be more free time, or a project, a challenge. I mean, you need to identify as soon as possible what moves you as a co-founders, what moves the CEO, what moves the CEO, what moves the rest of the team, right? So that's a really important one. The second thing is, for me, make some move and make some action as soon as possible. I mean, sometimes I faced too much analysis, and as I saw, I mean, you really need to go fast and try many things, because I mean, the pivot is not a problem. The problem is not doing things, it's not getting data. So as a team, you need to get data as soon as possible. Launch the MVP, launch the solution, try to fake it. I mean, nobody knows your page, so don't worry. I mean, I have to be honest. I mean, when you are a team of 3 or 4 or 5 or even 8, 9, 10, and I can say, if you are a more team and you don't have millions in marketing, nobody knows you. And nobody knows you mean you are in an ocean in Google AdWords, you're in an ocean in sales strategy, and to find you, it's going to be really difficult to find you as a client. So that means that your family and your friends knows you, but the rest of the country, of the rest of the global world, doesn't know you. And so don't be ashamed if your webpage is not the best one that you thought. Don't be ashamed if the product is not the best one. I mean, just to give you an example here, we just put a car at the very beginning, and we got a client, and the client sent us all the information, all the stuff, the risk analysis stuff, so the salary, the payroll, the financial situation. And he said also to us, I got a car from another company a year ago, and I like, and now I like more your car. So I want to see if I'm approved. If I'm approved, I want the car. So we got the client with a fake car because the car was faked at that point. The price was fake. Right? It was a market price, but it wasn't real. And the client sent us the documentation, the information. Obviously, he has to be approved. But what we said to him is, so sorry, you have been rejected. You are denied. And the client said, that's impossible. I mean, it's gonna be true. It's not gonna be true. I mean, because I was approved last year. My finances are really good. And we said, yeah, yeah. I mean, so sorry. I don't know, but the bank said you are rejected. So sorry for that. That's it. The lessons learned there was, I mean, that client validate for us the risk analysis studio. I mean, the client said, I agree to pass the study with you. I'm okay to get a car from your webpage. So I mean, that client has a lot of value. Even we could not at that point give him all the end-to-end experience, but the client has a lot of value because he was the one saying this business works. That's the second point. The third point for me is really easy. Measure everything. This is really known. I mean, if you don't measure, you don't know it. So as much as you can measure, do it. And we were crazy here, crazy, and probably you know more than me. Like most of the entrepreneurs now, they know more tools to measure the heat maps on the web page, where the leads come from. I mean, the weight of every lead, if it comes from television, if it comes from Google AdWords, if it comes from SEO. But we as a company and as an entrepreneur and in this phase, seed and proceed, and obviously Series A, I think you need to measure everything. You can do it in Excel. We don't need like really complicated systems. But we need to have data every place. As I mean, if we have data every place, we can at that point do local actions to correct it. For example, we had a vehicle data page from a SWIPCAR with some photos but no videos. We were saying the conversion rate wasn't high, so we tried to make some videos of the cars, getting the car from the dealership, doing 3 minutes video, and the conversion rate just ramp up very fast after the videos came. So I mean, this is an easy one, but I have to say it again. I mean, just measure all the places that you can have, and don't just need. You don't have to measure just what Google Analytics says. I mean, you can measure another things. For example, the television, we did 40Ks in a local television, and we got like 40 sales extra. And at that month when we did that, we had like 100 sales. So, I mean, we called the 100 extra sales to ask, where did you come from? I mean, have you seen us in the television or not? I mean, so you can do your own analysis, just calling, SMS, WhatsApp, email. I mean, just measure as much as you can for sure. Fourth point for me is you as an entrepreneur, CEO, SEO, I mean, all of you, you are the culture. I mean, in the very beginning, this is the culture of the startup. There's no another culture. There's not any paper where you have to write the values and the culture. It's you. It's just you. It's the way you manage the people. It's the way you treat the people. It's the way you make some efforts to work harder or not. I mean, if the people see you as an entrepreneur going deep, getting numbers, measuring everything, staying there really late nights from the very beginning. I mean, this is a culture they are getting. If they see that, they understand this is the way to work in this company and this is the way to be success. So if you don't do that, don't expect that the others are gonna do it because it's not gonna be true, at least at the very beginning, right? For me, the fifth one is hire fast, fire fast. And I know this is like controversial because what I saw in the startups life is hire slow, fire fast. But I think in these times, sometimes you just need to cover positions. So you need to be fast as well hiring, and at least you need to be fast if you already like the people. So don't try to be like I'll call you next week. I mean, thanks for the interview. I'll call you next week. You can also do like, thanks for the interview. I'll catch up for you in an hour or something. I mean, if you have cleared it, if he or she is good, she's gonna be hired for another company really fast. I mean, especially now the market during the last month has been really fast on this. So I mean, for me, hiring fast is also a good strategy. It doesn't mean to hire wrong. It means to do the properly interview, but it means to hire fast. And fire fast for sure. I mean, one, you realize this is not the correct person for the correct position for what you are paying. This is not a good match. And I said, don't be afraid of that. I mean, if you are afraid of that, I mean, the company it's gonna die, because I mean, every person, when you are really small, every person counts a lot. So fire as fast as you can, obviously giving always a period to learn, but after that, you have to be fast as a founder. That's my recommendation, my advice. Yeah, the 6 point is you are always selling. I mean, and that means you have to sell your company to clients, you have to sell your company to investors, to people, and don't, as a CEO, this is a really CEO advice. I mean, as a CEO, you have to sell always, the whole time, to everyone. And you cannot forget that. That wasn't my strength, to be honest, but I tried to put it like more effort on that. I mean, a recommendation that I had from one person really important in Demium is, if you have a glasses or a t-shirt where you need to realize yourself that you are a seller, I mean, put that glasses, put that t-shirt, and you know that your magic is there. I mean, if you are not like a 100% seller, put your things and do it convinced what you are saying. And because if you are not convinced, I mean, people is gonna see it, and especially investors are gonna see it, and they're gonna think he's not really convinced. I am not either, right? Yeah, the 7 point is key talent is key, and this is easy. I mean, we had people that changed the way we worked in SWIPCAR and made the difference. I mean, people in sales, we treat her like as a co-founder, Esther, but she was like obviously like a co-founder. I mean, she made some changes in product and in the CRM that it was key. There's also a lot of people that it was key as well, but make key talent for key talent for key talent key, because you are gonna need it. I mean, you cannot be the star the 100% of the time, so they need to be the star, and your role for them is you have to work for them. I mean, as a founder, you have to work for the key talent. And don't forget this, because I mean, for me, the most important is founders, entrepreneurs, you cannot be the bottleneck of your startup. I mean, never. You have to be there for all of your workers 100% of your time, giving everything. Don't stop the work of others. If you are stopping the work of others, that's not working. I mean, because you cannot be the bottleneck of the company, right? Yeah. And this phase that I'm putting here, the last 3 points are more how, I mean, until here, the 7 points for me are how to build a company that it's ready to give to get some value. But after these points is how to be acquirable. I mean, you can have really good results, really good team, really being measuring everything, really good turnover, really good invoicing, everything. But if you if you are in a shadow, if nobody knows you, you're not acquirable, and that means you have to meet your competitors, and you have to meet the key players of your industry, let's say. And that one, I have to say it again, it wasn't my strength, but it's a learning that I got after starting the company. I mean, you have to meet all your competitors as fast as you can. Meet them, get a coffee, explain your company, explain each other your company, share some metrics. I think don't worry, don't say them the secret of the Coca-Cola. Don't say the secret of your poison. Don't say the important things. But don't worry to share many things with them. I mean, because at some point, some of your competitors will be the one who is performing the better, and probably you are the second. And if you are the better, you need to know them as well, because probably you want to acquire them at some point. So I'm meeting the others is the best position to start a negotiation. Is really, really important that you meet with others, especially in your industry, right? The ninth one is get time to read the future. Get your crystal ball and get what's coming in the next months. I mean, COVID for me was a 100% surprise, to be honest. But if you were reading newspaper and you were taking the time at December 2019, I guess it was 2020, 2019, right? If you were getting your time, you were already reading about China virus and China and blah blah and all the stuff. If you were reading all the news before at the very beginning this year, you were getting impressions. If you are reading now the news from the United States coming, you are getting other impressions. So that's time that you need as a CEO to read the future and to make a strategy. It doesn't mean it's going to be like that, but at least you have to be ready and mentalize that you have already seen it, because it's not that easy. But if you don't get the time, you are not you are not planning anything. Your plan is just wait for what's coming, right? And the 10th one is once you have read the future and the present, and you know what's happening in the world, you can defend your value. And defend your value means this is my value, this is what I saw in the market, I have this and this and this, and I'm sure this is my value. And be sure that's your position. But you have to be convinced with other factors, not just because I think this is my value X. No, I think it's more important to be with some other insights from the market, have it, read it, and put it in your presentation to be sure that you already know your value. That's it. I mean, this is the 10 points that I got. I mean, obviously there are lots more, and you should have it, but really happy to share it with you if you have it or ask easily.
Okay, super nice. When I heard the same story like your, I was super excited because each story from each entrepreneur, it's like a small world, like this roadmap of the beginning to finish, like create something bigger. Yeah, it's for me, it's everything clear and it's super excited. Uh, I see the few question. I see more than 8 questions, but I try to ask very important. First question, it's about operation versus strategy and reading future. What you recommend about this?
Well, what used to happen in our startups, in really small startups, when we start with not many founding, let's say many funding, you need money and you are two, three, four, five people. The thing is, you are acting as a CEO sometimes, and you are acting probably as a COO as well. I mean, so we have to differentiate the role. It's not the same one. The thing is, you can do it at the very beginning, but at some point you have to be one of them. One of them. If you are trying to be the two of them, at some point it's going to be against your company. That's for sure. The key thing here is at what point you should decide to get a CEO, and you could be a CEO or the other way around. You need a CEO and you are going to face the COO positions. If you face operations, obviously the name just say it by themselves, it's you are COO. If you face raising money, see the vision, reading the future, getting a strategy, motivating the people, you are the CEO. I mean, I try to be the two of them until the end. But at some point, I try to be more focused on the CEO position and leave the CEO to other people. So it's an internal dilemma that you have to face at some point. As sooner, the better. But I know that funding is key in these things.
Mhm. Next question, it's about what was the biggest challenge for you?
I mean, all of them was challenge for sure. I mean, I already shared like many points that were challenges. But after the times, I have to say, managing people is not an easy one. I mean, uh, culture and be sure that they are happy, fighting for your values, fighting for your culture. That's the most important one. You need to be a good communicator and you have to be a good motivator, but also, let's say, love your team. I mean, if you don't love your team, and as I said, if they don't see you like being the leader, like working, like facing the problems, like trying to solve it, they're not gonna be there. So that's the most important one for me. And the second, for sure, I mean, it's raising money because it's at some point it's like giving you like, okay, I'm really happy. Now I'm not that happy. Like I'm really happy. So you're always in that, right? I don't know the name, but I mean, you're always like facing the problem, right?
Yes, yes. We see, this image on Google search. It's like the life of entrepreneur. Like I'm the god. Oh my gosh, I'm the god. I'm the etc. etc. So you understand what I
Yeah,
mean.
totally.
The last question, because we need to start the second part. It's like, do you have startup knowledge before you start your own startup?
No, nothing. I mean, my family used to manage business, but I wasn't an entrepreneur before. I mean, that was the first time.
Okay, and next part of question, if no, please share where you find the right information.
I mean, today you have all the information in internet. I mean, you know it. I mean, being in this workshop or being in other, I mean, you can find everything already in internet and learning from the very best. I mean, there's like the PPTs from Airbnb, pitch decks. You can find it really as well. I mean, it's easy to get it. So, I mean, I say that if you dedicate an effort, you can get from the internet. I mean, anyway. I mean, Demium was the key point for me to help me because I was alone at that point. I mean, I wasn't not meeting anyone. And Blas and then Jorge Dobon was who gave me the go, and Javier and Ale, Sola. I mean, all of them gave me the opportunity and I appreciated that. So I think Demium could be a really good start if you don't know anyone for sure.
Okay, nice. So, like this question, I think it's maybe from Demium team. It's like a small advertising integration or something like that. I don't know. Okay, so we closed our first part of our event. And let's start to the second part. Right now, we have here three startups. As I mentioned, startups from Ukraine and one startup from Poland. And first startup, which called Tendido, it's like the same car industry with you, Julio, but what they exactly try to solve, we will see in the presentation. Andrei, the stage is yours.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Julio, many thanks for your presentation. It was really interesting. So right now, gonna share my. Can you see my screen?
Oh, yes, totally. Let's get started.
Hola, Julio, ¿cómo estás? Well, that's actually everything I know in Spanish. So, hey everyone, my name is Andrew, and let me introduce you Tendido, a mobile car wash. If you have a car, you're definitely familiar with the problem we are addressing, especially you, Julio. A dirty car. And there might be a reason for that. You might have no time to wash it by yourself. Getting to the station is inconvenient, and waiting for the car to be washed is really annoying. So, why don't you get a car wash delivered to you instead? With our solution, just pin where your car is in the mobile app, select the desired services and pay. And in the meantime, washer will plan a road to your car. And once we come, we will wash a car with a dry wash technology, so we don't need any water and any heavy equipment. In the meantime, you can track the order status in the mobile app and actually keep on doing your stuff and relax. After roughly 45 minutes, your car is clean without any involvement from your side, so you can actually see the real result. Apart from being convenient, our service cares about water resources. Compared to the classic car wash, we need 500 times less water to clean a single car. The global market for this service is growing and could reach up to $45 billion by 2028. We plan to conquer the obtainable market, which is roughly $4 billion size. Our business model is based on a 20% cut from every car wash performed through our platform. With an estimated roughly 40 million car washes per year, we plan to get a $100 million in annual revenue. Besides, we also plan to integrate a technical component to this whole domain and increase the car wash frequency, one of the key components of this industry, by targeted promotions, notifications, and personalized promos for the user. On the competition side, our biggest competitor is actually a classic car wash currently, but there are some other companies that offer the similar service. However, we are different. First of all, we act as a marketplace, so we have a faster scalability compared to franchise or hiring staff companies. Washers can join us from anywhere in the world, so the service is not limited anyhow to a certain location. We don't need any heavy equipment to perform the car wash, so there are no barriers to join our platform as a partner. And besides, we already have a mobile app developed, so it makes making an order a nice and easy thing. The go-to-market strategy is pretty straightforward. We plan to achieve the target revenue by having roughly 250,000 specialists on the platform. And to get it, we plan to build a network within a growing gig economy by involving students and freelancers. On the marketing side, we plan to advertise ourselves with outdoor promotion, parking ads, and across the internet. On the business side, before the war began, we already earned $3,000, had 6 B2B partners, and 40% month-to-month user base grows. Over the past quarters, we have established the process, the team, developed a mobile app, and got our first clients. Now, we want to expand to other cities in Ukraine and go further to our first European market, which is Poland. There, we plan to establish a cooperation with local universities to start growing the network of specialists. Our team is covering like 3 main focus, which is technical side for our CTO, washers management and learning, which is for our CEO, and I'm covering the business development and the marketing side. And that's it. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much, Andrew, and we're waiting for feedback from Julio.
Sorry, I wasn't there. I mean, I will ask more information, Andrew, about the metrics, the 2 things I'm worrying me. The volume of the market that you are facing and the people who is going to be ready to get that. And the second thing is the ticket. I didn't know if you mentioned the lifetime value versus CAC acquisition cost.
Well, there are no, let's say, we have numbers to calculate these metrics for ourselves, but I'm not sure this will be a representative one, because first of all, we have started in September, and then there was a winter season, which is influence our business. And then when we have actually planned like the future growth and scaling, the war came. So like we can play with those numbers, but I'm not sure they're representative, you know.
No, I mean, as a general feedback, I mean, the idea is also replicated in other markets. So I think it's, I have seen in other markets as well. I think in Spain we had one. I will try to get it. So the idea for sure is useful. The key for me, the thing to worry about is as soon as possible to understand the ratios between CAC and lifetime value, to be sure that it allows you to grow and getting margin per operation, let's say, especially with the lifetime value, because I mean, if you get repetition with this model should be, as soon as you can get more metrics, it's gonna give you more solid power, let's say, to defend your position. That's it.
Yeah, I got it. Well, regarding this question, like what inspires us in this matter is the frequency of car wash, because it's like available analytics that we can get, and it like draw clear numbers of approximate numbers of car wash within different segments. So it makes us think that if users stop, like some of them adopt our app, they definitely gonna stay with us for some time due to this frequency.
Yeah, my congrats, Andrew. Sure.
Thank you very much, Andrew and Julio. And we start from car, and let's begin, get out from the cars and use our legs and explore the city. I see the next startup. I see your smile, Alexander, and next startup called Guided. So please share your screen, and we are
Sure, let me
waiting.
start sharing my screen.
Yes, we see your screen.
Okay, that's great. So hi, I'm Alexander, and we are Guided. And I would like to start by asking you a simple question. Have you ever looked forward for your holiday or a trip to explore a new city, but up to some time planning it, you get frustrated or overwhelmed? Well, we have found out that exploring new city, can be hard. You spend too much time on choosing the right attractions. When you start looking for the local insights only in free tools like Google Search or TripAdvisor, it turns out they are not there, and you look for recommendations from your friends. And by the time you decide to book a tour guide, it turns out it's quite expensive and you need to adapt to other people. Our solution for this is a community-led digital platform with ready-to-go routes to explore the city with the local insights. Explorers can browse through hundreds of local paths created by the best city residents, its citizens, and they can explore on a low cost, on demand, without adapting to the other people. And by the same time, we are providing the solution for the creators, which might be the tour guides, city enthusiasts, or influencers. We offer them opportunity to monetize and scale their insights. We will bring them platform to easily create digital tours to share and earn every time someone walks through it. And creators can tokenize their paths in order to prove authenticity or create exclusive content. Ultimately, we want to give people a unique and a local city experience by connecting them with local creators. It's personal, digital, anytime. The product from the creator perspective looks very easy. While the creator have a nice walk and visit his or her favorite places, they can pin on map every place, take a picture, record a few words of the recommendation, and then they can share their created path and earn every time someone chooses it. Explorers can browse through the hundreds of local tours and pick the one based on their preferences, whenever it's history, art, culture, or food. They can experience a new city by a walk enriched with the local insights. They can easily book a table and a check menu and the restaurants, or buy a ticket to the museum, which is on their way. In terms of the market size, we are aiming at the booming creator economy market, and our revenue potential based on our creators' reach in 3 European markets is $3 million. Our business model is very simple. Guided is a marketplace. Explorers are our demand side, while creators are our supply side. We wire 50% to creators, and we charge 50% of commission from every passage of the path. As there are a lot of revenue streams within our solution, we would like to focus on the two mains. One will be the usage fees, when the users will pay like for a ticket for an offline guided tour. And we will also partner with cities' promotional offices and private businesses to create and promote dedicated tours in order to bring for the explorers free content. As there are some competitors already on this market, Guided offers the most flexible, personalized, and affordable city exploration by connecting explorers with local creators on a tours available anytime. This is our roadmap. after securing funds in the pre-seed round and building the MVP, we'll start building creators community. After the launch of the first version, we'll run the marketing campaign in order to drag the audience to our application. At the seed round, we'll enter to 2-3 European countries with the biggest base of the content creators. And then we will partner with European capitals and major cities. And by the time we'll expand globally, we'll introduce NFT tokens for the creators. The team consists of the two people, myself as a CEO with the experience in bootstrapping my own company, being a business development head in international corporation, and also being a strategy consultant independently. And Michał, who is our CPO, having a background in being a production lead in other startup, also being a product designer independently. We have also broad board of advisors, including Jair from Miro with the background from Airbnb, Mikołaj, the founder of the Hype Me Up, which brings celebrities with their funds, and also having advisory from the creator side from Małgosia, who is a journalist, traveler, and well-known blogger. In terms of the funds, we are looking for 100k euro, which will be allocated mainly to the team, building the MVP and marketing purposes. Thank you, and let yourself be guided.
Nice.
Congrats, Alexander. I have some questions. First one is about the investment round. When you say you need money for the MVP, do you mean technology team, or what is it about? I mean, that percentage.
So at this stage, we are having the pre-MVP. So like we are focusing mainly on the UX design. And in terms of the funds, we'll definitely need a product development team.
Product development. And the rest of the team is not developers, or are they?
The rest of the team includes the overheads for the co-founders and also the partnership manager for the content creation part.
Okay. Now, my question is more about your focus, because that last slide is giving the focus where you are going to focus in the next months, and it seems like it's really shareable. I mean, between all the areas. So my advice is like to be really clear that if you need to develop, first of all, an MVP which is valid to get the first clients, focus more on MVP and not in marketing, because I mean it's not that important at the very beginning if you cannot because if you don't want to spend that money in marketing until you don't have the product ready, let's say, right? I mean the application really likes me, to be honest. My recommendation will be to do it specifically also for travelers, professional travelers, business travelers that have a couple of hours and they can copy another guided already tour from someone, 2 hours, 3 hours. So be sure in my advice that people can filter and say I have 2 hours, I have 3 hours, or I have a whole day, that it's going to be really interesting. And the second point for me is, I don't know if I read it well. The ticket is low, but can you repeat it again? I mean,
So we consider the range or price range. So, and it will be independently for the creator how much he or she will charge for his tour. So it's a range from free. So based on the cooperation with the private brands or the with the other cities. So this will be a free content for the users, while they will also have the opportunity to buy a ticket for the tour directly from the creator.
So at that point, I mean, one of the most important points right now is to be sure that you engage the creators, because that part is not going to be that easy. I think.
I can imagine.
If I get €3, I'm not gonna share it. I mean, it has to be like something else to them to be ready to share the tours. That's a very important point as well. Think about it. I mean, probably you have it already for sure.
Yeah, thanks. I highly appreciate your feedback. What we are looking at right now is that those same creators are sharing for free the recommendation on Instagram, for instance.
That's true. That's true. That's a really good point of connection. Probably you can get more information from Instagram at some way for sure. Yeah.
Super. Thank you very much. And we're back to Ukraine. And the last but not the least, I see your smile, Pablo. So we're discussing about cars, about I don't know how to say legs, and we forgot about bicycles. So next startup, which called Will Keep, will tell us about bicycles and how they can help with stealing. Pablo? Yes, we see your screen. Super clear. Yes, nice. But we still don't hear you. Yes,
Yeah, I think now you can hear me.
super.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you here, and I'm ready to start. Uh, Hi, everyone, again. My name is Paula. I'm a CEO and co-founder of WheelKeep. Have you ever been a bike theft victim? I've been, and also there are 3 million bicycles stolen only in Europe every year. And there is actually a result that police don't have time to take care of each theft because it takes really a lot of time to find the stolen bicycles and they have a lot of other important things to do. And as the result, the return rate is not more than 5%. I'm a cyclist and I know that it's a big problem to leave unattended bicycle in a big city because locks and wires can be easily destroyed with the bolt cutters and visible solutions will be thrown away by thieves. That's why we decided to create a wheel kit, completely invisible from outside gadget that puts inside of the bicycle. If anyone touches the bike, user gets the alarm push notification to his phone. And also, user can see the bicycle location on a map. And in case of theft, user gets a special recovery assistance services. We're already in negotiation with the police of the United States, Europe, and the private security companies to provide this service. The idea of GPS tracker isn't new, but did Steve Jobs invent mobile phone? It's a real technical masterpiece to put all this electronics to the metal tube and make it reliable and convenient. Our main competitors are another smart solutions, but only WheelKeep is completely invisible from outside because it's not an add-on. It actually becomes part of the bicycle. Thanks to it, only our device can be charged just inside thanks to the magnet charger, and also only our system provides a bicycle recovery service. It helps to recover stolen bicycle. We're going to make money with the subscription for the software and bicycle recovery services, and at the same time sell the hardware with the price which equals to the cost of goods sold and customer acquisition cost. The market is really huge, and we're going to acquire 330 millions if we sell Will Keep to each 10th bicycle cyclist in Western Europe and the United States. And now please meet Peter. He is an avid cyclist. He has several bicycles, and one of them at least costs more than $1,000. And we're actually lucky because there are 3 million Peters only in Netherlands. And that's why we are going to use the Netherlands as our beachhead to the Western Europe expansion. We already get more than 1,000 revenue with pre-orders from our Ukrainian backers. Also, we raised a pre-sale grant from the USF, but now it's frozen because of war. Also, we started the manufacturing of the small batch, and recently we have raised a grant from USCA and Free Ukraine Foundation. We created the MVP prototypes, tested them. Now we're going to finish the small batch manufacturing next month and start the test sales in Netherlands. This is our team. We are cycling geeks, actually. We are cycling enthusiasts and long-time friends. And we want to eliminate the bike theft problem once and for all. And also we have an experienced advisors who helps us to take both technical and business decisions. Now we're looking for funding to relocate to the Netherlands, scale up our manufacturing volumes, and do the Western Europe expansion. That's it. Thank you. I will be happy to answer all of your questions.
Hi, Pablo. Thank you very much. I really like the idea because it's totally different as you are, as I was expecting, to be honest. My concerns are, I mean, obviously the idea is it's a fact. I mean, the reality is a fact. Lots of bicycles are being stolen. My concerns are more about the technology first. Like, you are going to compete against AirTag from Apple, let's say, uh, because I can do it easily. I can put an AirTag release in my bike if I want it, and I have in my phone. So first thing is your dispositive going to be connected with the phone? I think yes, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one. About the size of the dispositive, can you reduce it in the future, or it has to be that big? Or or are you doing that big because it's going to be, let's say, easy not to find it? How do you see it?
Thanks for this question. I think that when you just make a slide like why we are better than AirTech, it's often asked question. So yeah, we can't make it smaller, and there is no sense to make it small because we put it just inside of a tube, and it just replaces one mechanical part to another ours with electronics, and it is not heavy because electronics is light. And actually, I think that you can put if, for example, thief take a bicycle with AirTag and he have an iPhone, then he will be notified that hey, someone is following you with AirTag, and he will get an alert actually. So
Okay,
it's like
tricky. Okay, and the second one is more about, for me, the value of this is, I mean, if someone steal my bikes now and I have to go into a really strange, let's say, uh, town, I'm afraid. I don't want to go because I'm scared. I'm not going for the bike. I call the police. The police is not going for the bike right now, I think. And because you say no, I just have a GPS in my phone. Please just go and recover my bike. They're not going for sure. They're going to say, how you know it. I mean, police is always gonna say, I mean, we need some paperwork, some stuff for sure that we're having it correctly. So I think the value that you are bringing is that partnerships to recover the bike. That's the most one of the most important values are that you are sharing. Uh, I don't know if it's a question or it's more an advice, but if you can work harder in this direction with the partners to recover the bike faster, even the client can pay an extra for that insurance, let's say. It's not a question, it's more a think about it. Because I mean, it would be good, to be honest, if you can pay a little bit extra and be sure that you have your bike at your home some days later, or even you can be, or even you have an insurance for the bike that you can also give to the people once they get the dispositive. I mean, the good thing is you can offer many things, not just the GPS recovery, insurance. I mean, that's a good idea for sure. Congrats.
thank you. Yeah, we're going to add insurance company partnerships to our system also. Thanks.
Yeah, especially thank you for the three of you and the effort that you are doing right now. And when I saw now that you put in the deck like it's stopped because of the war and that stuff, I mean, guys, you are super brave, and I'm really delighted of your power at this moment for sure.
Yeah, thank you very much for these words. You know that for each Ukrainian, it's like we're receiving this strong support from each country. So we really appreciate also Poland people and other world. So thank you very much, Julio. Thank you very much, YouTube viewers. Thank you very much, startups. And that's all. We close our event. We are not super on time, but anyway, the last sentence which I want to share with you guys and girls who is watching us on LinkedIn and YouTube. Shall you start your own startup? See you. Bye bye.